Yeah, so at the dog park again, and a little colder than I thought, so I'm kind of miserable. I'm in the process of upgrading my iPhone, uh, and I was a little trepidatious about it because, well, the one I have has a physical SIM, and the one I'm upgrading to has an eSIM. And my last job, the job I had before I retired, we went through a bunch of those, and it was a bit of a faff because you had to call the carrier each time to upgrade, to activate the eSIMs or figure it out. But apparently in 2026, that's not as much of an issue now because I guess both Android and Apple have realized that there are eSIMs around and have kind of come to terms with that and made it a lot easier to do that. So we'll take a look at what's involved and see what I've got to look forward to. The SIM is a way for the carrier and the phone to identify each other so that you can connect to and use your cell phone service. What's an eSIM? Think of an eSIM like a digital login for your carrier, while a physical SIM is like a physical key you have to move around and probably lose between the couch cushions. Ask me how I know that. As I said, both Apple and Google have realized that making users call their carrier to activate a digital chip was a tiresome experience, so they built native tools to handle the heavy lifting. So while it's definitely easier to jump from a physical SIM to an eSIM these days, the ease depends on whether you're staying within the same family, iPhone to iPhone, or jumping across the fence, iPhone to Android. So of course, carrier support still matters. Even though the phones can do it, make sure your carrier supports eSIM. Also, some budget carriers still insist you use a specific app or a one-time QR code sent via email. So if you stay within the family, it's very easy. For iOS to iOS, Apple uses eSIM Quick Transfer. For Android to Android, use the Google SIM Manager, very similar to the Apple method. If you're converting on the same device, you're tired of using the SIM card and you want to go eSIM if you have a device that supports both. On iOS, you can just do a settings, cellular, convert to eSIM. On Android, it's very similar. Go to Settings, Connection, SIM Manager on Samsung or Network SIMs on Pixel, and look to convert to eSIM. The cross-platform leap is also much better in 2026. Historically, it was a bit of a nightmare. However, with iOS 26 and Android 16, there's now a native transfer to Android flow. So I should get my new iPhone, well, new to me, in a day or so, and hopefully it will go as smoothly as I've suggested here. If anyone cares, I'm going from an iPhone 13 Pro, which I've enjoyed very much, to an iPhone 15 Pro. It's cheaper than an iPhone 16, and I don't care about compatibility with the ephemeral Apple Intelligence. I figure the iPhone 15 will give me a couple more years of software support over the 13. So after I've sold the iPhone 13, I figure the upgrade will probably cost around $300 US, which I'm okay with. Of course, for the same money, I could probably buy a brand new Moto G Power or a Samsung Galaxy A25. Makes you think, doesn't it? So that's another video in the can. If you found this interesting or informative or even funny, give me a like and maybe even subscribe. And remember, be excellent to each other.